AI models are flooding the fashion industry and consumers are rejecting it. So why are brands doing this? Let's talk about it. There's a lot to go through, so let's start with Australian label Atoir, who's come under fire for using an AI-generated model for their e-commerce imagery. These images appeared on the Iconic and the brand's website with a very small disclaimer written in the product description. Before we get to the model, we need to address this terrible photoshopping, particularly around the hair. If you're selling $700 dresses, you better pay attention to those details because it's reflective of the attention to detail you put into your brand. This is also not the first time that Atoir has used AI models. They did so in their Occasion 25 campaign last year. And naturally, people went to social media to voice their concerns. When asked about it, Atoir framed it as innovation and efficiency, which helped them to speed up the product to market cycles and cut shoot costs, whilst also expanding size representation using small and large virtual models. Really? Don't make me read out the definition of gaslighting. And now, across the Pacific, US Vogue has published a campaign from Guess featuring, you guessed it, AI models. Now let's spare us all the PR spin around innovation. This has everything to do with cost cutting. Firstly, I am biased. I'm doing my master's on AI and I think it has its place and it can be a really good tool. But like all tools, it really depends on whose hand it's in. Much like masters with their brush strokes, you can give a paintbrush to a novice, there's nowhere they're painting the Sistine Chapel. And this isn't about me being a Luddite. I'm an early adopter, I'm also a photographer, and I embraced AI years ago. We're currently in the wild west phase of AI where everyone's having a go and there's no rule. But the one core thing that remains the same is humans need connection. We are emotional creatures and we need to feel that connection to be able to value something. Brands can spin this any way they want, but the reality is consumers aren't buying this. We are drowning in soulless, superficial content. What we really crave is connection. The biggest problem that AI is going to face is that it's never going to generate nostalgia because we are consuming this content at record speed without the time to digest it and memorize it. There's a reason that songs endure for decades and they still bring us back to a special moment because some human somewhere invested their time creating it and crafting that because it was drawn on their own inspiration from a moment that they felt. AI cannot replace that. AI can't replace vision or taste. That's the role of a true creative, to tell that story. There's a reason we go to art galleries to stare at Van Goghs and why you can retain the lyrics to a song you heard 20 years ago, because they make you feel something. AI can't replace that. And so maybe it's time we start to look at our creatives and realize just how big a role they play in shaping our world. I think this is a very big wake-up call to show that we've never really valued our creatives. They're the ones who tell our stories and keepsake our memories, and without them, we're lost. So whilst I don't begrudge brands for embracing AI, and I certainly use it myself, I think it's important that we reflect on the fact that AI can't store or create our memories. And if we're no longer creating, what can AI learn? So whilst brands might think they're cutting costs by embracing AI, they might be cutting something else, the very connection they have to their customer. Wait till I show you what AI is doing to beauty standards and our self-esteem.